Last time, when I told you to use manual switching then, you guys were not agree with me, and you said that bad internet connection or latency doesn't work properly with manual cursor. Even I also have always bad internet connection and latency, but still, I use manual switching perfectly. If you know these few basics for manual switching, your opponent will find hard to beat you even in bad connection. Manual switching can gives you more control if you follow these tips. Even in dangerous to V1 situations, you can easily stop opponent. Manual cursor let other players to be in their perfect position, while your other player will put pressure on your opponent. But strong result is only depend if you know which player you should use. In this video I will make you master of manual cursor switch. I will share every rare secret plus pro level trick, so you can easily snatch ball from opponent and score like this.
Palmer. Garner. 15 minutos para que termine la primera mitad. Balón para Palmer. Bernardo Silva. Y la recibe Dembélé.
It was not that much easier to reach so close to Division 1, and that is also only using standard and normal player cards. So our second last opponent was a high-rated long ball player. He has a tremendous midfield which has one anchorman. I always told you to have at least one anchorman in your lineup because they remain deep and stay between the passing lines, so it will always be easy for you to break opponent's attack. I also recommend you to have at least one whole player, so the whole player always has decent attacking skills and they can create attacks easily plus contribute themselves also in defending. So our opponent doesn't have any limitation in his squad. So we need to focus on these three players while defending. Other players are not looking dangerous for my defense. Manual cursor gives you full control on your player, so you can even use your attacker in defending like I am using. It is very important that you use only one player to press, so your other player could be in good position if your one player will fail to stop the opponent. Watch there. My one defender went to close down the opponent, so the other one went to cover the space left by the defender. This happens when you don't use double pressure on opponent. Manual cursor works perfectly when you avoid double pressure. Why is anchorman necessary in any formation? I am building my attack very effectively, but look at the opponent's anchorman. He is not pressing me. He knew where I would pass the ball and he is moving himself there. Anchorman always breaks attacks by staying between the passing lines.
Ya te digo, ahora casi todos los equipos tienen a un solo hombre de referencia punta. Y es que ha demostrado ser una estrategia muy fructífera.
Encima, el gol cada vez se
Pues sí, en cuanto a calidad, desde luego estaba a la par del resto. Además era muy versátil y bueno, tenía un montón
I can give you thousands of clips where anchorman breaking the attack thousands and thousands of times.
de cualidades. Podía jugar de central, incluso hasta de lateral.
When you use the manual cursor switching, it gives you more control. It doesn't change your cursor automatically, so it causes less errors. For example, if I want to involve only my one player is pressing, then I can use any attacker or midfielders instead of my defenders, so my defenders can mark and focus on other attackers, like the moment in that clip my midfielder and defenders are doing. Once again, Anchorman worked there silently and perfectly. Now you will ask me why I am showing this again and again, because I want to show you that Anchorman is very effective to break the attacking rhythm of your opponents. You can see here clearly that I am defending with my DMF in the left back position and my left back positioning himself at the right position. If my this player will fail to stop the attacker, then my left back would be in a perfect situation to stop that. This is not possible in assisted and semi-auto cursor. Now he failed to stop the opponent, but the cursor is still on him. Your cursor will not change until you don't want to change it. If I was using an assisted or semi-assist cursor here, then my cursor would automatically change to my this teammate, and he could start running forward to press this player. Then this player would have been free and he could easily receive the ball and can score the goal. The opponent can be alert if you switch your cursor earlier. That's why the manual cursor is perfect for late switching. For a strong and effective matchup, manual cursor is perfect option. It makes it hard for your opponent to where he should pass the ball. Now, look at my this pure masterclass build-up.
Palmer. Garner. 15 minutos para que termine la primera mitad. Balón para Palmer. Bernardo Silva. Y la recibe Dembélé. De Zambia.
In my previous video, I told you to block your opponent from front. If you can't reach the face of your opponent, then don't press him. Now, let me show you how manual cursor is also making this strong. If you fail to get the ball or your opponent sent the ball away, don't go behind the ball, just hold your position. Your attacker is also getting involved in defending. Only because of the manual cursor you can drag your attacker into defense. Now, one more error is manual cursor is stopping here to let happen. If you use any other cursor switch apart from manual, then if this player fails to stop the attacker, then your cursor automatically changes to this player. So he will automatically come forward without your command, and this opponent will be totally free to receive the ball. Manual cursors stop these kinds of errors until you change your cursor manually. But you have to be alert about one thing when you use manual cursor. You should never switch your cursor if your opponent is doing fast passing. As you can see, my opponent is rotating the ball so faster, but I am not chasing the ball or switching my cursor to another player. I am holding my cursor on one player and letting the opponent rotate the ball. I was not going closer to the opponent, but trying to exploit his passing lines. Don't change your cursor immediately, just try to block passing lines.
Bien visto, ha adivinado las intenciones.
Eso es, se ha posicionado muy bien.
Intenta el desmarque. ¡El impacto! Espectacular desempeño del futbolista. Y así, de la nada...
Some opponents try to bait your defenders to press them, and when you go to press them, then they pass to another teammate. Opponents use this trick to create space for themselves, but to avoid this trap, you should not switch your cursor to your centre-backs. Keep your cursor on your midfielder or any other player, but not your centre-backs, like I am keeping my cursor on my midfielder. Change your cursor to your defender only when you think that your opponent is going to take the shot, not before then that you should switch. The purpose of keeping the cursor not on your centre-backs that sometimes when you change the cursor on your centre-backs, then they automatically come 2 or 3 steps forward, and then your opponent can use that against you and beat you easily to score the goal. That's why I use this method to avoid that mistake and only switch my cursor to my centre-back when it's very necessary. Like the same thing I did in that clip, my cursor went to him. Once again, my cursor to my midfielder, and remember, I am not including any other player in the pressing, so other players can maintain their position and can focus on other opponents. Now, this player failed to stop the opponent, so I switched my cursor to him. Always remember, if you can't reach your opponent's front side, then switch to another player and try to do that by using him. The ball went directly to opponent's centre forward, so I switched to nearby defender of him. Now I will try to block his face so he can't take the shot. Try to keep yourself in front of your opponent, not follow his backside. Hold your pressure button and, with the help of your joystick, try to put your player in front of your opponent's face. The exact same thing I did in that situation and won the ball.
Se ha agenciado un gol. Ahí va esa pelota entre líneas. Cometió un error infantil al no medir ese. El guardameta es el único que puede impedir que la distancia no falla desde los 11.
Now, just focus on my control on the ball. If you apply all my tips in your gameplay that I have taught you in these 24 episodes, then you guys also can play like this. This would not be difficult for you.
Busca el pase al hueco. Kimmich.
Zambia va 2 goles por delante, así que pueden sentirse un poquito cómodos.
Es uno de los jugadores que está en boca.
That's it, guys. With this video, we have reached our last match of this series. There won't be one more video in this series, and after that, I will make all the tutorials about touch and flick controls. I will make many tutorials on passing, defending, pressing and attacking, and next Wednesday, eFootball 2027 going to be released. So it wouldn't be any better timing to make those videos than that. So bye, and let's meet in the next video.